Okay, it's live. One more minute. Morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Wishing all of you a happy and blessed Vesak. May you be well, happy, and peaceful always. My name is Brian, and I'm so honored to be an MC for today's eVesak celebration. Now, brothers and sisters, just sit back and relax. We will be starting the official eVesak celebration at 9 a.m. So, meantime, just sit comfortably, find a quiet place, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. once again, a very good morning, dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to Thera Buddhist Council of Malaysia eVesak 2021 celebration. My name is Brian and I'll be your MC for today. In about 5 minutes, we will be starting the eVesak celebration, and in the meantime, please sit back and relax and enjoy the celebration at the comfort of your homes. And also, since we're on Facebook Live, feel free to actually, wish everyone a happy Vesak on your comments, or even mention your aspirations for the year. Thank you. we're starting right now. A very good morning, venerable members of the Maha member societies of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, and brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to the Facebook Live eVesak Celebration 2021, brought to you by the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia in partnership with member organizations. I'm Brother Brian Goh, the MC, and together with Brother Terence Xiao, who is in charge of technical, it gives us great pleasure to be your host for today. Here's wishing all of you a happy and blessed Vesak. May you be well, happy, and peaceful always. Now, brothers and sisters, today is a full moon of Vesak in May, which is a special day for Buddhists around the world. It celebrates Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing away into Parinibbana. It is also a day of immense joy, peace, and reflection. Every year on this day, devout Buddhists and followers alike gather at temples. The Buddhist flag will be hoisted and hymns are sung in the praise of the Noble Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, his teachings, and Sangha, his disciples. Devotees offer flowers, candles, and joss sticks to lay at the feet of their great spiritual teacher. These symbolic offerings remind followers that life too is subject to decay and destruction when the offering burns out or wilts away. Celebrating Vesak also means making special efforts to bring happiness to the aged, the sick, as well as the needy. Buddhists believe that performing good deeds on Vesak Day will multiply merits many times over. For the second consecutive year, however, the celebration is again different, a new norm due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has led to the MCO and lockdowns not just in Malaysia, but worldwide, thus led to cancellation of many events and gatherings. Temples remain shut till today, and all religious celebrations have been cancelled. These adversities, however, is a great time for cultivation and reflection. And as a reward for your dedication, this year's celebration goes on, and it is special because once again, for the second consecutive year, we bring the temple closer to the comfort of your homes, where you can view Vesak chantings and hymn singing from your laptops, tablets, or smartphones. And now to kickstart today's event, all rise as we will now sing the national anthem. And now, let us put our palms together and sing along with the anthem of unity with the Buddhist flag flying high.
Long as we're alive.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Now, to continue today's celebration, let us now put our palms together as we invite Most Venerable Chief Reverend Buddho Sri Saranankara Nayaka Maha Thera, Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia Monastic Advisory Panel, and Chief Monk of Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple Sentul to administer and to lead us in taking of the 5 precepts. Brother Tan Ling Huat, the immediate past president of TBCM, will represent the devotees as our lead chanter.
Let us to observe the 5 precepts. Before the observation, recitation Namo Tassa 3 times. All of you, after me. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Repeat after me. Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Panati Pata Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adhinadana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adhinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kami samicchācara viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kāmesu micchācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvādā viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sramiraya majjapamadatthāna viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Sīlena sugatiṃ yanti sīlena bhoga sampada sīlena nibbutaṃ yanti tasmā sīlaṃ visodhaya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Warmer Estuti, thank you, Most Venerable, and also thank you to Brother Tan Leng Huat as our lead chanter. All right, thank you, brothers and sisters. And to continue on today's celebration, we shall now invite Brother K.C. Lee, the President of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, to deliver his Vesak message live from the comfort of his home. Over to you, Brother K.C.
Respected Venerables, respected Buddhist Society Presidents, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Namo Buddhaya and happy Vesak greetings. On behalf of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, may I like to pay tribute to all Venerable Sangha members, Dhamma teachers, Buddhist community leaders, and benefactors of the Buddha Sasana everywhere for inspiring and transforming the Buddhist community. Once again, millions of Buddhists all over the world will gather to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and the passing of the Buddha Gautama, which is celebrated on the full moon day in the month of Vesak. While traditionally the occasion was marked with much pomp and ceremony, this year the celebration will continue to be restricted as last year, with most activities to be conducted online due to COVID-19 pandemic. As we enter our second year of living with the presence of COVID-19, we reflect that not only has the pandemic been unprecedented in terms of its global reach, it has stretched far longer than any one of us could have expected. Many have felt that these 2 years has been very challenging due to the unpredictability, like riding a roller coaster without tracks. We can't certainly say what is it in for us in a few more months' time. but we are certain that the medical frontliners who have tirelessly to ensure Sikhs are given the best care possible, for that, we are grateful for their compassion and sacrifices. Amidst the changes in our life and the fluidity of our fight against COVID-19, it is worth remembering that the Buddha's teaching of anicca, or impermanence, remains relevant always. The purpose of Vesak Day is observed most meaningfully when Buddhists use the occasion to purify the mind, to reflect on the meaning and the purpose of life, and to find out how we can achieve true happiness in our daily lives with the practice of Dhamma. While our daily life today may be difficult due to COVID, we can take comfort in the Buddha's teaching that this too will change. These difficult times will not last forever. The pandemic too will pass through with a concerted effort towards global immunization, the theme of this year's Vesak celebration. As we practice in our online puja sessions and talk, let the teaching of the Buddha be our anchor in today's sea of uncertainty. And if we know anyone who is struggling to keep afloat, we must reach out to steady them. Let me take this opportunity to thank donors and sponsors who have come forward when there is a call for humanitarian work. In most recent project, AIDS for India and Nepal, the financial contributions from all walks of life showed our compassion in action towards relieving suffering of another human being is worth saluting. The recent uptrend in the case of COVID-19 may affect our mental peace and happiness. The Buddha has taught us that the secret of real peace and happiness lies in training the mind not to be affected by worldly conditions. We cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. And if each individual makes the effort to change with a positive attitude and cooperate with the authorities to follow the SOP guidelines and to sign up for vaccination, then every single one of us would have contributed significantly to bring this pandemic to an end quickly. Therefore, on this sacred Vesak Day, let each of us strengthen our commitment towards developing patience to maintain tranquility in the face of uncertainty. With that, let me wish all of you a very happy Vesak Day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Brother K.C. Lee. In fact, just to give you some key takeaways from Brother K.C. Lee's Vesak message. Remember, anicca. Nothing is permanent forever. So as the pandemic, I know everyone is actually very tired, getting fatigued due to the COVID-19. But remember, this too shall pass. So hang in there, have faith, have a lot of hope, and practice the Dhamma wisely. And Buddhism, as Brother K.C. Lee said, is about training the mind. We cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, the world and the surroundings around us will definitely change. And also one thing very good that Brother K.C. brought up is a constant reminder, which our government has always reminded us as well. Follow the SOPs and please do not hesitate to register for vaccination. We are all in this together and don't let our guard down. Let's continue the fight and the pandemic shall too pass. Thank you, Brother K.C. once again. All right, and we shall now invite Most Venerable Chief Reverend Buddho Sri Saranankara Nayaka Maha Thera, Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, Monastic Advisory Panel, and Chief Monk of Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple, Sentul, to share his thoughts on Vesak as well as its significance this year.
Brothers and sisters in Dhamma, celebrating Vesak Day for the Buddhist community
Brothers and sisters
all over the world.
Happy Vesak
Very
to all
grand
of you.
occasion.
Today, such an important day, as every one of you mentioned, is a time period challenges. But I'm so happy. Each and every Buddhist organization, particularly this year, they are organizing something to reach out each and every members, the devotees, wherever they are, being at home, being wherever they are, to connect through social media. Not only that, they're able to maintain a lot of contribution, donation to the Buddhist centers, as well as for the welfare activities. As I just mentioned, Casey, we launched wonderful, compassionate charity work. The India, Nepal, Sri Lanka as well, to reach out to the victim, to help as a Buddhist community from the Malaysian side. The response are getting better. So much contribution they done. I strongly believe it is a wonderful practice, generosity. Today, the generosity we are contributing to the whole mankind, different way. Vesak Day is the very important day, especially Buddhist leaders, Buddhist organization. They are so busy this particular day to organizing many activities. But the last Vesak and this Vesak, we are totally silenced to observe Uposatha, maybe 5 precepts, maybe 8 precepts, or maybe 10 precepts. It's a wonderful opportunity, each and every one of us, to participate such important things. Uposatha is the Theravada tradition. It's a very practical thing. Vesak Day is such a way to commemorate important day, the enlightenment of the Buddha, what the Buddha mentioned, the two kind of offering, Amisa and Pratipatti Puja. This is not Amisa Puja offering or material things are offering. This is the spiritual offering to the Buddha. Accepting the precept, maintain the precept in your own mind, and the blessing towards the mankind. That's the highest blessing, be able to do it. I strongly believe it, brothers and sisters. Today is a day, use this opportunity, each and every one of your cultivation, your purification, the inner comfort, inner beauty, inner mental strength to uphold each and every one of you. Vesak is a day, not the cultural or other celebration, mostly actually self-practice, even though we're adding many other things as well. Being a young child, when I was a young child, I was very keen for the hymns. I was very keen for the Buddhist drama. I was very keen for the procession. All those activities also important, but the most important thing, self-development, each and every one of our mind. That to realize, to understand the beauty of our each and every person mind. That's the most important thing. Being silent yourself, just listen to your own breathing. You may consider different words you're giving. You may consider it's a therapy. You may consider it's mind gym. You may consider mindfulness practices. Whatever terms you are using, Buddha mentioned 2,600 years, wonderful message. The message is very, very clear. Purity, cultivation, inner development, most assess in our life. That mental strength going to help you here and hereafter. Brothers and sisters, the Vesak Day is a very important day for all of us, for the practical side. The practice very strongly. We got so much knowledge for the textbooks, so much knowledge for the listening, various talk, so much the reading you're going through, so much things to pick up on the internet, YouTube, all those gathered knowledge. This is a very golden opportunity for you to practice this particular Vesak. Using as a very much positive manner. This Vesak is more to the practical self-development. Get together family members, get together each and everyone into the one place. And today is a noble day to maintain such a peaceful, calm manner, practice your inner development, inner cultivation, inner purification, which is help you here and hereafter. Thank you very much. May you be well and happy. Thank you.
Oma Istuti and Terun Saranai, most venerable, thank you so much for your continuous guidance. And also just a quick one to give all of you some quick key takeaways. Yes, despite all the adversities, unprecedented times, we managed to somehow organize Vesak, although not in a temple, but on social media, which we are doing right now, live via Facebook. And Chief Reverend also constantly reminds us that we must continue to always do good, always continue our generous efforts, charity work, whatever we do to make a difference, and expect nothing in return, because this is definitely the greatest of all merits. Okay, and Vesak and also other days are also very important. Instead of delving into the current unprecedented times, let's take this opportunity to cultivate ourselves, to purify ourselves, to boost our mental strength, uphold ourselves. Buddhism is all about self-development, because when we focus on self-development, we will realize and we will understand the beauty of our mind. And Chief Reverend also reminded us that in today's digital age, we are so lucky and blessed. Before YouTube, before Google, I guess most of us had to be in a temple, go to the library, search for Buddhist sources, books to read. But now, information are available everywhere. Google, YouTube, Instagram, or even Facebook, or even now, Telegram and Signal. So thank you, Most Venerable, for constantly reminding us all these important aspects. And thank you for your continuous guidance. We now honorably invite Venerable Maha Thera to deliver his Vesak message on behalf of Venerable Kru Udom Dhammapatiban Maha Thera, who is also the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia Monastic Advisory Panel.
To commemorate birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha, and most importantly, to commemorate and to practice his teaching, which the Buddha had taught us to use our single minutes in our life for the benefit of ourselves and for the world. So together, no matter what our religious affiliation is, we pray for the world peace. Sadhu.
Thank you, Venerable Sir. And also just a quick takeaway from Venerable, as he has mentioned. No matter what beliefs we have or whatever faiths that we practice, always pray for world peace, pray for love, and pray for compassion. We now honorably invite both Venerable Jutipanyo Maha Thera and Bante Dr. Dhammapala Maha Thera, who are members of the Monastic Advisory Panel to the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, to deliver their Vesak messages, as well as to share their thoughts on its significance this year. They will be delivering messages in Mandarin and English, respectively.
各位居士，大家为世界吉祥。 自从COVID新冠疫情爆发，直到今天呢，已经1年多了。我们去年跟今年都无法举办为世界的庆祝活动，也证明了我们面对的疫情呢是越来越严峻。最近呢，印度又在爆发这个疫情，病毒又在变种，传播的速度呢更加迅速，所以大家都要谨慎。我们要记得佛陀所说的，不要放逸。现在面对这个疫情，真的我们绝对不可以放逸。看看印度呢，就是因为放逸的关系呢，所以导致今天疫情一发不可收拾啊！所以我们要非常非常的谨慎了。政府呢一直在提醒我们要遵守这个 SOP， 就是管制法令。第一呢，要戴好口罩；第二呢，就是要勤洗手；第三呢，保持社交的距离。最好呢，就是待在家里。假如无法待在家里的话，那都应该做好这方面的责任。佛陀说，我们的善行呢，会护佑着我们。什么是我们的善行？假如我们的心中呢，时时考量到别人的利益，我们做好我们的本分，戴好口罩，勤洗手，保持社交距离，为了别人的安全利益，也为了我们自己。任何行为做了之后，能够利益别人，也同时利益自己，这就是善行。所以千万不要放逸，要谨慎。我们应该做好我们的本分。假如我们能够好好的防护自己，我们等于在保护我们的家人。我们的家庭成员呢，假如他们能够好好的防护他自己，他也在保护着我们。希望大家这段期间呢，配合政府颁布的法令，我们一起来共同努力抵抗这个病毒使我们能够平安的度过这个灾难。希望大家都无恙，家里成员呢都平安无事。萨埵萨埵萨埵。
Happy Vesak, Sukihotu. Vesak Day is an auspicious festival for Buddhists all over the world to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and nirvana of the great teacher, the Buddha. This year is the second Vesak festival under the COVID-19 pandemic. Many monasteries and temples, due to movement control order, unable to open monastery and centers for devotees to come and participate in the Vesak festival celebration. Though you cannot come physically, you still can participate in many social platforms eVesak festival. Many monasteries from around the world launch many online activities, such as participating online in the bathing of the Buddhas, online Dhamma talks, online meditations, online taking 5 precepts and 8 precepts etc. Programs are quite well off and diverse, and you can learn from many monks from all over the world just within a tip of finger. Stay at home and be safe. Hope you will make good use and rejoice in the online platform for continuously accumulating your merit, punya, and wisdom, panya, which are essential conditions for the liberation of Nibbana. To celebrate eVesak Day, I suggest you can celebrate eVesak at home with the observance of 8 precepts, meditation, online offering dana to the Maha Sangha, listening to the Dhamma talks. Lastly, with the merit accumulated, you can dedicate the merit to the whole world, free from disasters, and the pandemic will end very soon. 卫塞戒吉祥。卫塞戒呢，是全世界佛教徒最殊胜的节日，是纪念我们伟大的导师佛陀的诞生、到涅槃三期同一庆的宗教节日。今年是全球疫情下第2个卫塞戒，很多寺院由于行动之令都无法开放，让信众前来参与卫塞戒庆典。但很多的卫塞活动呢，都已经搬上线上主办，各寺院推出多线上活动，只要手指呢轻轻一按，便可轻易的参加线上浴佛、线上弘法、线上禅修、线上受五戒、8戒的这些节目呢，都很丰富多元，而且呢，无远佛界都能以来自世界各地的高僧大德在网上向他们学习。希望大家虽然在疫情的肆虐下都能调整好自己的正面心态，好好留守在家里，利用网上的社区平台，继续为自己累积去向解脱的福慧资粮。要如何庆祝卫塞戒呢？建议大家在卫塞戒当天，在线上受持清净的8戒，能修、共生、听经闻法，以清净的身口意3业，喜悦的心情来庆祝卫塞戒。同时也希望大家将受持清净8戒的功德回向给天下无灾无难，疫情早日结束。萨埵萨埵萨埵。
Thank you, Venerable Sirs. Really inspiring speeches there. And just a quick takeaway from Bhante Dhammapala. He also reminded us, just as what Venerable Saranankara mentioned earlier, we're so blessed to be in the 21st century, a new decade, because we have many sources where we can actually learn the Dhamma. A lot of sources available at our fingertips. So whatever platforms they use, social media, Google, YouTube, make good use of them. Cultivate and do more good, and may the merits be with you. Vesak, even though it's eVesak this year, take this good opportunity to practice 8 precepts and also immerse yourself in Dhamma talks. Now, for those of you who are unable to actually understand Venerable Jutipanyo's speech in Mandarin, I have the summary of his speech translated to English as follows. Credits and special thanks to Sister Tan Yishin, my co-MC from Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple Sentul, who assisted me in translating Venerable's speech. Fellow Upasakas and Upasikas, wishing all an auspicious and blessed Vesak. It's been more than a year since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year and this year, we were unable to hold Vesak Day celebrations in temples as the pandemic is getting worse. Just as an example, recently in India, COVID-19 cases increased tremendously at an all-time high. The virus continues to mutate, and the spread became stronger and faster. Every one of us must be cautious and take the necessary precautions. We must always remember what the Buddha says, be heedful. We really can't be heedless in the face of the pandemic. Just take a look at India. People became heedless, and as a result, what happened? The pandemic has gone out of control. Therefore, we have to be very, very cautious. The government has constantly reminded us to comply with the SOPs. What are they? Firstly, it's important to wear a mask. Secondly, wash your hands frequently. And lastly, please practice and maintain social distancing. The best way to protect ourselves is to stay at home. If you're not able to, remember to take precautions by adhering to the SOPs in place. The Buddha says, our good deeds will protect us. What are our good deeds? If we always care for others, then let's do our part by wearing our masks properly. Wash our hands frequently, practice and maintain social distancing for the safety of others and also for ourselves. This is a form of good deed and dana, as it can benefit us and others around us. We must do our part. If we protect ourselves, we are protecting our loved ones. And if our loved ones protect themselves, in return, they too are protecting us. It is with my sincere hope all of us continue to do our part and adhere to the SOPs in place during these unprecedented times. Let's not put our guard down, and together we can flatten the curve. Stay safe, and may you and your loved ones be well, happy, and healthy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Lastly, we would now like to invite Venerable Ayasma Aggacitta Maha Thera to give us a short Dhamma talk on Vesak.
Araham Samma Sambuddho. Araham Samma Sambuddho. Araham Samma Sambuddho. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Vesak greetings, everyone. In ancient India, the months of the year were named according to the alignment of the full moon with certain constellations. Vesak, which is a shortened form of Vesakha, is a month in which the full moon aligns with the constellation Visakha. Now, this usually falls in May, according to the solar calendar. Theravada Buddhists believe that on the full moon day of Vesak, 3 momentous events happened. 1, the birth of Siddhartha Gautama. 2, his attainment of Samma Sambodhi, or perfect self-awakening. And 3, is parinibbana, or final passing away from samsaric existence. The actual dates of these events are still the subject of debate among archaeologists, historians, and Buddhologists. However, for practicing Buddhists, the exactitude of these dates is irrelevant when compared to the significance of these 3 events. So today is a convenient day for Theravada Buddhists to celebrate and commemorate these 3 events all at one go, instead of having 3 different times of the year. We celebrate the birth of Siddhartha Gautama and his perfect self-awakening, because these events are instrumental for us to receive the Dhamma that he had realized. We are so fortunate and grateful for the Buddha's great compassion to share his profound knowledge and experience of the Dhamma for our long-term welfare and happiness in both the worldly and spiritual senses. We celebrate his parinibbana because he was finally and totally liberated from samsaric suffering. Even though Siddhartha Gautama attained perfect self-awakening at the age of 35, he still had to undergo the suffering of having the 5 aggregates. For example, he still had to put up with incessant mental activity in response to continuous sensory impingement. As long as our 5 senses are in good working order and a prominent object comes into their field of awareness, we have no choice but to experience them. And so there's this incessant mental activity of responding to these experiences through the senses. And that is a great suffering itself. Not to mention having to put up with hunger and thirst, exhaustion, discomfort due to insect bites and the weather, sickness, aging, and so forth. The death of a loved one, to most people, is a solemn and sad affair. But for knowledgeable Buddhists, the parinibbana of a revered Arahant like the Buddha is an occasion for rejoicing in his final liberation from all forms of samsaric suffering. Not only should we celebrate these 3 events, we should also commemorate them. And the best way to do so is to practice what he taught us. As we all know, the Buddha, as he lay in between the twin thala trees before his parinibbana, told his monks that the best and ultimate way to honor him was by practicing the Dhamma according to the Dhamma. For lay people, that can be summed up as dana, sila, and bhavana. It's well known that Malaysian Buddhists are a generous lot because they are targeted even by fundraisers for projects overseas, abroad, in first world countries. With the global economy plummeting and unemployment rates soaring, compassionate giving has to be tempered with the wisdom of discretion. Give only what is really needed by the recipients and well within your means. Times are hard and mobility restricted. Now is the time when a lot of people experience the truth of this English saying, familiarity breeds contempt. When you're locked up in your own home, close to your beloved ones, continuous or prolonged proximity with them can trigger off a lot of irritation and negative reactions. And so we have to be extra careful with our physical and bodily conduct so that they are not harmful to us or to others, whether psychologically, emotionally, or physically. And that, of course, includes the SOP for the prevention of the spread of the coronavirus. However, for us to be able to effectively restrain our verbal and physical behavior, we need to cultivate mindfulness and clear awareness in order to be able to properly and effectively restrain our verbal and physical behavior. And a good foundation for mindfulness and clear awareness to operate effectively is composure, samadhi. As you all know, the Buddha had given many different ways of developing samadhi or composure to his monks and nuns. But for lay people, his recommendation is usually the 10 anusatis or recollections. And the first one is Buddha-nicity, recollection of the virtues of the Buddha. I think that of all these 10 anusitis, recollection of the Buddha is most appropriate for us because this is Vesak Day and we are celebrating the events connected with Gautama Buddha. So let us try to establish a good foundation for mindfulness and clear awareness by developing composure. And in fact, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone without breaking your first precept. Well, we recollect the virtues of the Buddha, and in that way we honor the Buddha. At the same time, we develop composure. So we are killing 2 birds with 1 stone and not breaking the first precept. As you all know, there are 9 qualities of the Buddha that are listed in the Itipiso formula. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with that, but we won't go through all of them. We'll just do the first 2. Araham and Samma Sambuddho. There are various ways of cultivating Buddha-nicity or recollection of the Buddha. And one way is by recitation, reciting verbally, and then when you are fluent, then you can recite mentally. So I want you to listen very carefully to this video clip that I'm going to play and try to follow the chanting. And after that, I shall explain in more detail the meaning of what you chanted.
Araham Samma Sambuddho. Araham Samma Sambuddho. Araham Samma Sambuddho. To me till the perfectly self-awakened one. Without secrecy, perfectly self-awakened one. Really worthy, perfectly self-awakened one.
Let me start with Samma Sambuddho because it is repeated 3 times and it has the same meaning, whereas Arahant has got 3 different meanings. Now, the word Samma Sambuddho can be broken up into 3 parts. Samma, Sam, and Buddho. Samma means perfectly or completely. Sam means by oneself. And Buddho means the awakened one. So the Buddha was perfectly self-awakened. We, as disciples of the Buddha, need to rely on the Dhamma preached by the Buddha and transmitted through the ages by the Sangha in order for us to understand the Dhamma and realize it. And nowadays, the Dhamma is no longer transmitted through the Sangha only. It's now available in print, in a digital format, so it's available to anyone who has the interest to study them. Of course, many of us have studied the suttas or translations of the suttas many times, many suttas. We have listened to many Dhamma talks. We have read many Dhamma books. We have gone in and out of retreats, but they are still not enlightened. But the Buddha was fantastic. He never depended on anyone in his last lifetime to realize the Dhamma. He discovered it by himself, totally by himself. And it was not a partial realization. It was not a half-cooked or half-plastic realization. But it was a perfectly complete one, and he did it all by himself. So, you see how great the Buddha is? When we look at our own minds, and we see how much defilements we have arising and passing away, and almost all our activities, whether mental, verbal, or physical, are motivated by defilements, and we can't even control them. But the Buddha, he did it all by himself, and he realized perfect self-awakening. The word Arahant can be interpreted in 3 ways. The first one can be broken up into 2 parts, Ara and Hang. Ara means enemy, and Hang means killer. You might wonder how the Buddha could break the first precept. But actually the word enemy here is just a metaphor. Our real enemies are not outsiders. our real enemies, are within us, our own defilements. So the Buddha has vanquished all the defilements, all the mental defilements of greed, hatred, delusion, envy, jealousy, stinginess, disappointment, frustration, rage, lust, everything. There's not a single iota of defilement in the Buddha's mind. So that's why he's called an enemy killer. He has vanquished all the mental defilements, which are our real enemies. The second way of interpreting Araham is breaking the word up into A and Raham. A means without, and Raham means secrecy. In the world, when people are up to some fishy business, some illegal or unwholesome things, they tend to do it in secrecy. They pakat and conspire in secrecy, making sure that their phones are not tapped, that they are soundproof, there are no eavesdroppers around. And that's how they conspire to execute unwholesome evil things. But because the Buddha is completely purified of all defilements, he doesn't have any such unwholesome evil intentions at all arising in his mind, not to talk about manifesting in speech or action. So the Buddha doesn't have any need for secrecy, therefore he's called Araham, without any secrecy. Finally, the last Araham can be interpreted as just one word, which means worthy. As you can see, the Buddha has completely vanquished all the mental defilements. He is absolutely pure. There's not a single iota of greed, hatred, or delusion in him, nor any of the other permutations of them. And therefore, he is really, truly worthy of our gifts, our hospitality, our reverence, anything to honor the Buddha. And so he's truly worthy. And because he's worthy, he's truly worthy of all these things, then whatever reverence that you give to him, whatever gifts that you give to him, whatever hospitality that you give to him, whatever praise that you sing for him, all these are very meritorious and will give immeasurable benefits in the future. And so he's really worthy of all these things. There are three parts involved in this chanting of Araham Samma Sambuddho. The first part is to memorize the words as well as the melody. You might be able to follow when the MP3 is turned on or the MP4 is on, you can see the words, but when they are turned off, then you may forget melody, you may forget the words. And so the first step is to memorize the words and the tune and the melody. And you can see also that the melody itself is very harmonious and peaceful. Even if you don't understand the meaning of what you chant, just by chanting according to the melody will help to calm your mind and make it composed. So if your mind is busy trying to memorize the words and the melody, then you wouldn't have the time to think of this or that. You wouldn't have the time to worry of the past or about the future. And so therefore the mind becomes composed. However, after one has become fluent in memorizing the words and the melody, then it becomes easy and the mind will start to run off and think of this and that. So when that happens, there's a second step that you can do to keep the mind busy again. And that is either by understanding every syllable that you chant, every word that you chant, or by visualizing a Buddha image or your favorite Buddha images. It depends on what sort of person you are. If you're a person who is more inclined to understanding things, then you could try to understand word for word as you chant, or syllable by syllable as you chant. However, if you're not that type, you're not so intellectually inclined, but you are more of a visual person, you have the ability to visualize things, then you can visualize the Buddha image, a favorite Buddha image, or few of them, one at a time, as you do the recitation.
Namo Buddhaya.
Okay, so this is the
Thanks,
bhavana
no.
part of it. We are killing two birds with one stone.
No sound.
We recite the virtues of the Buddha to honor him. At the same time, we are developing composure. And that composure can help mindfulness and clear awareness to operate more effectively. That is to say, catch our intentions, process them wisely before we speak or do anything, or even before you continue to think. So in closing, I hope that all of you will be able to bear in mind what I've just said, recollect it, remind yourself to put it into practice, and look back at your mind often to catch intentions and act upon them wisely. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Enemy killer, perfectly self-awakened one. Without secrecy, perfectly self-awakened one. We were the perfectly self-awakened one.
Venerable, a lot of very important key takeaways there from Venerable Ayasma Aggacitta, and this is also something new for me as well. And like I said, Vesak is a time for us to not only cultivate but to also learn more about the Dhamma. All right. So some key takeaways. Let's start off with Samma, Sam, Buddho. He actually divided into three parts: Samma, perfectly, Sam, oneself, Buddho, awakened one. All right. And also the word Araham as well is also divided into three parts as well. Ara, enemy; Han, killer. Now I'll explain to you all about the similarities later. So what this means is that Ara, enemy; Han, killer. It's not to say that, a lot of you may wonder, hey, how come he didn't adhere to the first precept? No. The meaning here, the word killer here, is actually a metaphor. All right. What he meant is within all of us, we have an enemy within us. So what we can do, cultivate. All right. As what the Buddha did, he cultivated and he actually vanquished all his mental defilements. And one of the defilements, greed, delusion, anger, hatred. All right. And Ara can also be divided into another two parts. Without, raham, secrecy. Now the Buddha himself has actually purified his mind when he gained enlightenment. And after he has gained enlightenment and he purified himself, he shared these secrets to his disciples. All right. And there's also another meaning, Araham, which is just worthy. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Buddha purified himself and he vanquished all defilements. So Venerable has actually reminded us constantly, how do we honor the Buddha? Practice what the Buddha taught us. Recollect his virtues and develop our composure. And when it comes to composure, means develop our mental composure. All right. So how do we do this? We can actually do by chanting the melody, because by chanting the melody, following the melody, we can develop mindfully. And then our mind becomes composed. Or some of you may visualize the Buddha's image to articulate. Or even when you do chanting, you try to understand from word to word. So importantly, as Venerable has reminded us, all right, we have to cultivate mindfully. Why? We have to cultivate mindfully because we have to restrain our mental and physical well-being. And that will actually enable us to actually think before taking actions. So for example, if you actually cultivate very well in terms of your mind, you're able to stay calm in any situation. So I hope all of you enjoyed and gained insights of Venerable talks. Yeah. All right. So, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, thank you so much for staying tuned with us. Now, just to give you a little bit of background about Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, for those of you who are not aware. So, on 25th December 2011, representatives from Theravada Buddhist organizations from 9 Malaysian states met in Kuala Lumpur. Hence, Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia was born with the mission to propagate the Buddha's teachings and promote the Buddhist way of life. Ever since their establishment, they have organized many Buddhist-related events, such as Dhamma Talks, Buddhist Culture and Arts Festival, and organized leadership programs to inspire and transform Buddhist leaders in collaboration with the Center of Research and Dhamma Leadership Enhancement, the Cradle. A notable one recently was the Aid to India initiatives, where donations were collected and channeled towards the initial purchase of 10,000 units of N95 face masks, 1,000 pieces of PPEs, and 44 units of oxygen concentrators to frontliners in India. Another notable one was upon the urgent request of a hospital in Sri Lanka. They also donated 3 units of ventilators. So special thanks and a big sadhu to all donors and volunteers who made these initiatives a success. So do follow us on Instagram, TBC Malaysia, Facebook, Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, and Telegram for further updates on activities and Dhamma talks. All right, brothers and sisters, let us now sit back and relax as we now invite you to join us in a sing-along with Buddhist hymns. Nothing Stays the Same Forever and Katanuta by Buddysings. Buddysings is a group of aspiring young singers and songwriters from Bandar Utama Buddhist Society. Their aim is to create relatable and youth-appealing music to connect youths all around the globe and spread Dhamma values. What started out as an idea for a theme song for the youth camp in June 2008 have now eventually become an album, Katanuta. Have fun singing along these beautiful hymns. These 2 songs were featured in the recent Go Forth Online Vesak musical concert. If you have missed it, here is an opportunity to listen to them. Without further ado, give it up for Buddysings.
We are Buddysings from Bandar Utama Buddhist Society, and this is Nothing Stays the Same Forever.
Nothing stays the same forever. Our lives can be something better. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Endings will be new beginnings. There's a time and place for everything. You need to know. Truth is, we live in this world where space and time rules our very universe. There'll be all kinds of moments on this train of life that never turns back. All the sceneries before our eyes will go through changes with the seasons. All the people whom we care about will never be the same when we meet again. Oh, you know nothing stays the same forever. Our lives can be something better. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Endings will be new beginnings. There's a time and place for everything. You need to know.
It's called impermanence. The cycle of rebirth is a part of our life, so you gotta be prepared. You see, the world goes round in the circle of life, where life and death happens to things we care about. Change can be scary, but don't be afraid, as it gives us freedom. It's the wonder of our life, so embrace your life. Accept the changes, make the changes, make the world a better place.
Nothing stays forever. Stays forever.
Once you understand this, I think you're ready. So come hold my hand and together we will sing.
Nothing stays the same forever. Our lives can be something better. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Endings will be new beginnings. There's a time and place for everything. You need to much better. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Endings will be new beginnings. There's a time and place for everything. You need to know.
You gotta know.
That was our original song called Nothing Stays the Same Forever. This song is all about impermanence and also teaches us that we should always learn to adapt to new changes. The next song that we're going to perform is called Kata Nyuta. It is also one of our original songs that we have just released. Now, Kata Nyuta is a Pali word, and it means knowing and recognizing what has been done for one's benefit. In other words, it is gratitude. It teaches us that we should be thankful to our parents, our teachers, to the people around us. So we hope you enjoy.
Think of the world, of the earth, of the stars in the dark, being alive. Just being here with you is a blessing to me. It's a miracle. With the knowledge of knowing of what has been done for us, seeing the things the love people gave to us, living the life that we have right now. There are lessons for us to learn and discover through the difficulties and hardships that we face. So, blessings in the air. And I say, hey, my friend, just look around. There's more than you can see. Oh, Kata Nyuta, many things I'm grateful for in my life. Think of the love that you have all around in your life. It's irreplaceable. All through the years, what made you strong, made you fall all along. They built who you are. With the knowledge of knowing of what has been done for us, seeing the things the love people gave to us, living the life that we have right now. There are lessons for us to learn and discover through the difficulties and hardships that we face. So, blessings in the air. And I say, hey, my friend, just look around.
Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, thank you for tuning in. Buddysings wishes you Happy Vesak Day. May you and your family be blessed with good health, happiness, and peace. Sadhu to all of you.
Your hard work, and so proud of you guys for the amazing numbers and also for inspiring the youths around the world. And brothers and sisters, we hope that you enjoyed their beautiful yet energetic hymns. Now, recently they started a fundraising initiative aimed at producing 6 original songs that can be streamed online for free, and also to purchase relevant equipment to produce quality content in enhancing your listening experience. To find out how you can support them, you may head over to their website, https://buddysings.com/ or follow them on both Facebook and Instagram profiles at Buddysings Official, or subscribe to their YouTube channel, Buddysings !Official. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to do something very, very different right now, which we did not do last year. We're going to do some live crossover where I'll be speaking to past presidents of Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia. So with me, I have Brother Chim Siu Chun and Brother Tang Leng Huat. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
You too. Good morning.
Yes. All right. So happy to see the both of you.
Brian.
Good morning. Good morning. So happy.
Namo Buddhaya.
Yes, Namo Buddhaya. So happy to see the both of you here. It's been a while since we last catch up. So we'll start off with Brother Chim. So what should be the Buddhist mission, Brother Chim?
Yeah, thank you, Brother Brian, and happy Vesak Day to all the venerable members of the Sangha and the brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. To answer your question, Brother Brian, the mission of a Buddhist should be to learn, to cultivate, and to realize the Dhamma is taught by the Buddha, and also to share this Buddha Dhamma with others so that more people can also practice, can learn, practice, and eventually realize the Buddha Dhamma. Learning the Dhamma and cultivating oneself, following the path as taught by the Buddha is important, especially in the essential teachings of the Buddha, like the Four Noble Truths. The Buddhist cultivation, guided by the Noble Eightfold Path, and along the path, the Buddhists practice the Buddhist way of life in Dana, Sila, and Bhavana, so as to be gradually free from our mental defilements and dukkha, and eventually attain the ultimate cessation of dukkha. The Dhamma taught by the Buddha help us to understand the true nature of our existence and the true nature of the world around us. Hence, we can understand better why people are troubled by great hatred and delusion, and why they have so much weaknesses, inadequacies, and imperfections. Such awareness and cultivation lead to compassion for others. Compassion can influence people as well as the environment around us. When we practice compassion, we have less greed and less hatred. And when we have less greed, we can live a simpler life, a life of simplicity. We use our material possessions less wastefully. Human beings with compassion, we have less greed and have less craving for material things, and they are less wasteful in their consumption of food and water, and etc. Less rubbish will be created, less animals will be killed for human consumption, less trees will be cut, and therefore less pollution to our environment. Hence, directly or indirectly, a real Buddhist practitioner contribute to the protection of our environment and also our planet Earth. With less hatred due to our compassion for others, a true Buddhist practitioner develop better understanding for others and also avoid conflicts, and therefore help to promote peace and harmony. These are some of the benefits for one who practices the Buddha Dhamma. Hence, besides our mission to learn, cultivate, and realize the Dhamma, it should also be the mission of each and every true Buddhist practitioner to share this Buddha Dhamma with others so that more people can also practice and eventually realize the Buddha Dhamma for a better world and also for the good for everyone on the path of purity to our final liberation from samsara. That's my answer to your question, Brother Brian.
Thank you, Brother Chim. Really insightful and some key takeaway there, brothers and sisters. Again, Vesak Day is all about realizing the benefits of the Dhamma and also to actually share them for the benefit of mankind. And Brother Chim also has reminded us to remember the Noble Eightfold Path, to also remember the Four Noble Truths. What's our ultimate goal? Practice Dhamma that lead to the cessation of suffering. And we also have to not only cultivate our minds, but continue to cultivate compassion as well. Why? Because compassion, as Brother Chim mentioned, transcends all barriers, because we will have less greed, less hatred, less anger, and therefore we will be able to reach our goal. So thank you so much, Brother Chim, for the wonderful insights. And so what will be your Vesak message to all our brothers and sisters?
I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy and a blessed Vesak. We are now in very unusual times, but I hope everyone will stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay wise. May the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha be with all of you. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful, and continue to walk the noble path until the attainment of your highest spiritual goal. May all of you be well and happy always. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Brother Chim. And now moving on to Brother Leng Huat. So Brother Leng Huat, immediate past president, question to you is, how can Buddhists contribute to global peace?
Thank you, Brother Brian. So you have allocated 3 hours for me for this little sharing, I think.
How I wish.
It's a big question. It's a very big question. Okay, before we begin, happy Vesak to all of you. And as we celebrate the Thrice Sacred Day of Vesak, let us not forget the Buddha's mission of peace. Quote, to the first 60 monks that the Buddha had, he says, "Go forth, ye monks, to teach the Dhamma for the happiness of the many." And that was from the Maha Sutta. Why did the Buddha do that? Out of compassion. As what my predecessor said earlier, his word of wisdom was compassion. That was the key word. It was what the Buddha is known for, his compassion. Yeah. So through that compassion, the Buddha sent the monks out into community to outreach the community. Yeah, that is a compassion shown by the Buddha. And this compassion, his teachings are all about compassion, like what my predecessor, Brother Chim, has said. It's about peace and compassion. Yes, through this, he has actually transformed the notorious killer, the serial killer called Angulimala. Don't forget. Yeah, Angulimala was a serial killer who has killed actually more than 1,000. Of course, they say that he has got 999 people because some of the fingers must have dropped off. Don't forget. Those are flimsily tied, so many would have dropped off. So he have killed many people, more than 1,000, we believe. But upon hearing the Buddha's Dhamma, he transformed. He transformed to a very compassionate person. He became an Arahant also. So that is the power of the Buddha Dhamma. Yeah. Another example I will cite to you is King Asoka. Now, King Asoka also, legend has it that he killed his 99 brothers, in order for him to be the emperor, in order for him to inherit the throne. He killed 99 of his brothers. Yeah? Of course, sometimes historically says it's 4, but in the legend says 99. So that kind of ruthless person he was. So his final victory was we conquered the Kalinga's kingdom, where he killed more than 100,000 people. 150,000 were banished, and the remaining ones were suffering there in famine, famine and disease. He saw this suffering. Yeah, King Asoka saw and realized this suffering. He embraced Buddhism, and that Dhamma transformed him, transforming to become a very good monarch, a very fair, just, full, loving, compassionate monarch. Remember his contribution to his contribution to Buddhism is second to the Buddha. He built many stupas, 84,000 stupas to house the Buddha's relics. He built all those pillars, and they engraved the Buddha saying there, and this became a very historical tool now. You see? So, King Asoka also, not forgetting, King Asoka also sent 9 missionaries to the world to spread Buddhism. Of course, his world then was only across the Himalayas, you know, the kingdom of Himalayas and China and Taiwan. And he sent missionaries also to Suvarna Bhumi, which also include Thailand, Burma, some says include Malaysia, Cambodia, the Southeast Asian countries. Yeah, he sent missionaries also to Greece. He sent 9 missionaries, and among the most popular ones, of course, is his own son, Venerable Mahinda, into Sri Lanka. Later, his daughter, Bhikkhuni Sumita, also went to Sri Lanka. She brought a sapling there. So that was the power of the Buddha's Dhamma. Okay, now we have seen the power of the Buddha's Dhamma, like seeing the footprints of the big elephant. So we saw the footprint, we say, oh, the elephant is big. But okay, that is an assumption. So let us go into the Dhamma a little bit to find out how beautiful the Dhamma is. Of course, like I said, we are looking at 3 hours from me, but I don't think you have the 3 hours. Okay, so we just cite 1 or 2 examples here. You see, in the Madhu Pindika Sutta, there's a Sakyan called Dandapani. He asked the Buddha, what is your doctrine all about? The Buddha says, my doctrine is in no conflict with the cosmos, no conflict with the Devas, no conflict with the Brahmas, no conflict with Maras, no conflict with the kings, no conflict with families, no conflict with even ordinary people. And that is the Buddha's Dhamma. He summarized that, it's a peaceful Dhamma. I will quote another sutta for you. When you have time, please read out the sutta. It's another sutta called the Brahma Jala Sutta. There was an ascetic or a wanderer called Supiya. Supiya was always criticizing the Buddha. So the Buddha's followers told the Buddha that this person is always criticizing you. How peaceful the Buddha was. The Buddha says, never mind. Don't let this criticism make you angry. Don't let this criticism annoy you. Why? Because when this criticism annoy you or make you angry, you lose focus on your own self-development. And that is how the Buddha taught. The peace that the Buddha taught. And also, incidentally, this Supiya had a young follower. He's called Brahmadatta. But he is in praise of the Buddha. He's always praising the Buddha. So also the followers of the Buddha told the Buddha, but this young man is always praising you. The Buddha says, yes, be careful. Don't also be carried away with phrases. Correct? People praise you. Don't be overjoyed. Correct? Don't go and celebrate. People say, I'm great. Oh, I'm carried away. That will obstruct the effort for you to cultivate liberation. And that is the Buddha's teaching. Correct? So these 2 suttas, I'm allowed only this short time, so I only quote these 2 short suttas. But above all, I want to remind ourselves of the Buddhist ethics. Correct? We recite the 5 precepts. I have recited the 5 precepts at the beginning of this program. That we abstain from killing, we abstain from stealing, we abstain from unethical sex, we abstain from false speech, we abstain from intoxicant. And in the end, I say, Imani pancha sikhapadani samadhiyami, meaning we will try to observe these 5 precepts to the best of our ability. Why? Because if I were to follow these 5 precepts, if we were to honor and follow these 5 precepts, we become very humble people. We will not take advantage of people. We won't become aggressive. In short, we become peaceful and likable people. So that is how we can emulate the Buddha to contribute to global peace. with that little time I have, I think I have to stop there, brother. Unless you give me 2 more hours, I would love to continue.
I would love to give you 2 more hours, Brother Leng Huat. Thank you so much. Okay, just a quick one for what Brother Tan Leng Huat say. Always remember that he again mentioned like what Brother Chim said. Key word here, compassion. Practice compassion, it will transcend all barriers. And of course, the most important thing, we must always adhere to the 5 precepts, no matter what. Okay, don't let our guard down. And one good point that he brought out, and there's one word to summarize what he said, okay, which is, I think I would say, is ego as well. Why? Because we must always remember that, yes, we have our achievements, but don't go out and celebrate. Don't rest on our laurels and be big-headed. But at the same time, we should not let any form of criticism to affect us, to make us angry. Instead, cultivate and have compassion. And then people around you will start to wonder, wow, this person has actually changed. He becomes very, very lovable. Okay, so Brother Leng Huat, a quick one. What will be your Vesak message to all our brothers and sisters?
Another hour.
Another hour, not
okay,
1 minute.
I would say that just reflect on the peace from within. When we have peace within us, I'm sure outside will be peaceful. And eventually will spread in the world, will look peaceful to us also. With that, happy Vesak again, and sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Brother Chim and Brother Leng Huat, for your time. And really, really, once again, thank you so much for the insights. Okay, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us now sit back and relax once again as we now invite you to join us in another sing-along with Buddhist hymns, Rise Above and Dhamma Shines in Me by i.gemz. So i.gemz, like Buddysings, they are also a group of aspiring young singers and songwriters from Buddhist Jam Fellowship. Have fun singing along these beautiful hymns. Without further ado, give it up for i.gemz.
See, fast asleep, planted deep in the mud, steeped in sludge. There you dream to get up and above and be free. Then you rise, reach for the skies with your eyes open wide. You've arrived, full of life, to be up and above and be free. Rise above it all, raise your hands, stand tall, open up your heart. Are you part of the few who's woken up? Rise above it all, raise your hands, stand tall, open up your heart, be a part of the few who's rose above. Are you serene, pure and clean and immune to the gloom? You can be beautiful when you're up and above and you're free. Tall and straight above it all. Raise your hands, stand tall, open up your heart. Are you part of the few who's woken up? Rise above it all, raise your hands, stand tall, open up your heart. Be a part of the few who's rose above. Are you part of the few who's rose above?
The Buddha taught the noble truth to me, high reality. And with this truth, the middle path I choose, the Dharma shines in me.
修，得以熄灭您我内心里面的痛苦与烦恼。愿我们趁这个机会好好的反省跟思维佛陀的教法，因为危机就是转机。愿全国乃至全球的人们齐心协力，以坚强忍耐心去对抗这波疫情，人人守护人人，做好防护的 SOP， 赶紧去接种疫苗，不要让自己陷入危险，也不要让别人你的身边的人陷入危险哦。So, dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, this is the second year that people around the world has been suffering a lot from the COVID-19 pandemic. This is indeed a very tough year ahead for all of us. But let's see this challenge as a great opportunity for us to reflect ourselves, to contemplate the teachings of the Lord Buddha, to truly understand the meaning of dukkha, the meaning of anicca, and the meaning of anatta. At any time, we may lose our life due to the disease. We may lose our beloved family and friends, our jobs and incomes, and even most basically our freedom to walk around. We lost it. So at this critical time, let's we all put in our efforts in practicing dana, sila, and bhavana to free ourselves from greed, hatred, and delusions. May all human beings do our best in fighting this pandemic. Abide strictly to the SOP as recommended by our Ministry of Health and WHO, and go get yourself a vaccine jab. Please, regardless of which brand, as long as it is safe, as long as you can access to the vaccine, go register for it. 12 months later, we're going to have this opening for AstraZeneca vaccine. Please go and grab it. Para people are less fortunate. We are not eligible in this round. So people around, please go ahead, register for yourself. Okay, thank you, Mr. Brian.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yap Mei Ling. I'm really, really inspired by what you said, and coupled with that beautiful smile of yours really made my day today. So, just some key takeaways from Dr. Yap Mei Ling. Again, never ever let yourself drown in the current unprecedented time. Take this opportunity. Do a lot of reflection, do contemplation, and most importantly, I remember she said, cultivate. We must put in all our efforts to do more dana and develop sila and bhavana. Why? Because if we cultivate these three values, okay, we will be free from greed, delusion, anger, and hatred. And ultimately, you will not be thinking about the pandemic at all. You'll be looking at positivity. All right. And timely reminder, thank you so much again, Dr. Yap. Please adhere to the SOPs. If you need to go out, please wear a mask. Now, people are talking about double masking now. So it's really, really important. Okay. Bring a hand sanitizer with you. Wash your hands and please maintain social distancing of at least 2 meters apart. So thank you so much, Dr. Yap. And now let's move on to Brother Isaac Yip-Fai Cheng, who's the president of Siddhartha Gautama Buddhist Society, Sarike, Sarawak. Now, just to give a short introduction, Siddhartha Gautama Buddhist Society, based in Sarike, Sarawak, Central District of East Malaysia, was established more than 20 years ago. So it is the only Theravadan Buddhist society in the Central District. That's right, the only one there. So SGBS, in short, practice the teaching of Lord Buddha and activities that include dana offerings, undertaking the training rules to observe the precepts, meditation, Dhamma talks, and providing assistance and support to the Sangha members, the poor and the needy, and like every other Buddhist societies, they organize visits to popular Buddhist sites abroad. So, Brother Isaac, so how is Vesak celebrated different under the pandemic? And again, Brother Isaac will actually answer us in Mandarin, and I'll do my very best to actually get some key takeaways from there, yeah? Okay, so Brother Isaac, 到你了。 Okay, no worries. I think Brother Isaac, you may be experiencing some technical difficulties, but no worries. Let's move on to Brother Albert Lim, who's the chairman of Seremban Buddhist Vihara. Now, just to give you a short introduction, this Seremban Buddhist Vihara has 35 years of rich history. So the idea or initiative to set up a Thai Theravada Buddhist temple was first mooted in 1986. A senior monk from Padang Peliang, Kedah, Prakru, Dhamma was invited by a group of Seremban devotees to lead and advise on the initiative. A pro tem committee was formed in October 1989 to coordinate and manage the temple activities. They were then replaced in November 1990 and registered as Persatuan Pengikut Kuil Buddha, and the temple was named Wat Arya Pracharam with Reverend Chow Pian as the first abbot. So with the support and generous contribution from the community, the society had managed to acquire the adjoining plot of lands to build a much better temple, which materialized on 25th of June 2006, where a newly completed two-story temple building was officially opened and the consecration was successfully performed. And then later on in August 2005, the society was renamed as Seremban Buddhist Vihara, in short, SBV. So, Brother Albert Lim, thank you so much for joining us today. So my question to you is, how do you cater to the spiritual and devotional needs of your devotees during the pandemic?
Okay, Hantu, Nama Buddhaya. Brother Brian, can you hear me clear?
Loud and clear, sir.
Good. Okay, Seremban Buddhist Vihara and the temple Wat Arya Pracharam cater to the needs of the Sangha, devotees, and surrounding communities. In carrying out our responsibility during this pandemic, we must also consider safety and the well-being of all involved. In terms of how we cater to the spiritual and devotional needs of the devotees during this pandemic, in basically SBV, retain most of our services with some changes to comply to the SOP requirements. Okay? Our regular chanting sessions in the morning and in the evening with meditation are still being conducted. Offering of dana, puja, and prayers are still available. The Reverend monks, that we have resident monks, are still available for spiritual consultations and advice. Brother Brian, Wat Arya Pracharam is a temple steeped in Thai tradition and culture. So matters like blessing for the individuals, special ceremonies for specific needs and occasions are still being sought after and conducted. All other services beyond the temple, such as house blessing, outreach to the weak and sick, funeral prayers are still available and being conducted, a bit at a lesser extent due to the current existing restrictions on inter-district and interstate crossing. Okay. So I would like to urge fellow devotees, brothers and sisters, to stay safe and stay healthy. That's like our sister Dr. Billing said.
Okay, thank you, Brother Albert. Now, the thing is,
may I like to take this, Brother Brian, take this opportunity to wish everyone, may the triple gem bless us all with good health, peace, and happiness.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Albert. So a lot of great insights there as well from Brother Albert Lim. So despite the unprecedented times, kudos, job well done. For actually continuing the Buddha Dhamma, though on a smaller scale as well. I think the celebration goes on, chanting and meditation goes on with a small group of devotees because they have to actually adhere to the SOPs. But despite all these restrictions also outside the temple, they also still manage to do their outreach programs, although on a lesser extent due to the inter-district, inter-state restrictions. However, whatever Brother Albert has told us, very important thing not to forget is to continue to do good. And that is actually what has been emphasized by Dr. Yap earlier as well. Okay, continue to do good and the good will come back to us. Okay, so thank you so much. And okay, let's see. Brother Isaac Yip Phai Cheng, President from Siddhartha Gautama Buddhist Society, Sarake, Sarawak. Are you ready? Brother Isaac, are you there? Brother Isaac, are you actually there? Okay, no worries. I think he's still facing some technical difficulties at the moment. So in the meantime, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Yap Mei Ling from Pertubuhan Penganut Buddha Theravada Gunung Lang. After the interstate travel has been lifted, I'll let you know. I'll be there to visit your center, definitely. And also to Brother Albert as well, after the interstate travels restrictions have been lifted, I'll be sure to actually pay you guys a visit. So you have my word, yeah? Thank you so much. All right, so now let us move on to another live crossover. So we have with us Brother Leong Weng Kong from Perlis Buddhist Society, Sister Ai Mei from Persatuan Sutrama Kuala Terengganu, and also Brother Ng Kok Hiap from Persatuan Kebajikan Buddha Gautama Negeri Pahang Kuantan. So first up, we have Brother Leong Weng Kong, the president from Perlis Buddhist Society. A little bit of an introduction about this Buddhist society. So Perlis Buddhist Society was founded in February 1975. It is one of the biggest Chinese-based Buddhist society in Perlis. So their members actually observe both Mahayana and Theravada Buddhist traditions. So Brother Leong Weng Kong, what is your aspirations for this year's Vesak?
Good morning, Brother Brian, and Namo Buddhaya to all member organizations, leaders of member organizations. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Now, for my aspirations of this year's Vesak, well, since Buddhism has come a long way, 565 years up to this day, we have seen many changes in the way Buddhists, the teachings of the Lord Buddha is being disseminated. And we are entering a millennia where the digital age is coming in, and we can see how Buddhism will flourish further, right, in the future. But then I hope that something can be done. I mean, maybe by setting up of a mechanism, a council, for example, or an advisory where we can see how Buddhist teachings can be observed by this council and then advised. As it is, we are afraid that we have seen that through the internet, through the digital age, things can be changed, truth can be twisted, right? So we need some kind of mechanism that will maintain the pristine teaching of our master. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Brother Leong. And yes, I think it's a very good aspiration, actually. Of course, it is also all our aspiration that resonates with us, that we hope to see, despite the digital age, that Buddhism will flourish. And of course, I think Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia, maybe Brother Leong's suggestion of a council, should be put into consideration. All right. So, okay. All right. Before we move on, we have Brother Isaac Yip Fai Cheng back on the line with us. So, Brother Yip, the floor is yours. And Brother Yip will actually answer us in Mandarin. So, how is Vesak celebrated different under the pandemic, Brother Isaac?
在我们还没有开始让我科长能够尊敬的我们的佛陀，还有我们尊敬的佛陀的法，还有我们尊敬的佛陀现在的僧团，还有所有的TBCM， 还有所有的佛友大家有个愉快的维赛节。在这个疫情当下，我们主办这个 卫赛节，我们要根据政府的程序去走。还有我们刚才我们的长老有说这个卫赛节是在我们佛教会的我们的整个佛教界的很重要的日子。庆祝这个卫赛节，也让很多的佛友，让大家可以造就了很多的善业这些善业可以让我们的生命未来的生命带来快乐吉祥，还有光明与力量这些善业也可以让我们长寿我们也希望我们所有的佛教团体我们成就了很多的善业与功德，希望我们也能够回向给这个功德给那些这些病毒的，这些也是一种众生，希望我们能够无私平衡的回向这个功德给他们，让我们能够这个疫情快点好起来我就讲到这里谢谢大家，萨鲁萨鲁萨鲁。
Okay, thank you, Brother Isaac. I think the key takeaways from his message, of course, thank you so much for the wishes and for coming back to join us as well, Brother Isaac. I think everyone has emphasized it, cultivation and reflection. Take this opportunity to cultivate and reflect and do more generous deeds. And I think one of the main key takeaways that he mentioned, we mustn't always actually talk about doing good like charity work and all that, but rather use Dhamma to also share with the needy. So that's all I have. That's a key takeaway from Brother Yip. And okay, so all right, before I forget, Brother Leong, just want to ask you, what is your wishes to our brothers and sisters?
Okay. For this Vesak, I hope all will stay protected by, all will be happy. May all of us be well and always continually guided by the Buddha's teaching, the Dhamma. And so, yeah, may all be happy and healthy.
All right, thank you,
Happy
Brother.
Vesak.
Yes, thank you, Brother Leong. Happy Vesak to you too. Okay, now we have Sister Yo Ai Mei, President of Persatuan Sutrama Kuala Terengganu. Just to give you a short, quick introduction about Sutrama. They are founded in year 2005 with the aim of having a center in town area for the convenience of Dhamma friends to come for group meditation practice and sutta and also Dhamma discussion. Also a place for invited monks to receive dana and to teach the Dhamma, organizing local overseas pilgrimage to Buddhist sites as well. And very soon, brothers and sisters, Bodhi Vihara, which was founded in 1989, which currently serves as a place for meditation retreats and self-practice, will be joining as an associate member of Persatuan Sutrama very soon. So, Sister Aimee, thank you so much for joining us today. What Vesak meant to you?
Nama Budaya to Venerable Brother and Sister in the Dhamma. What Vesak Day meant to me is that Vesak is a special day for me to pay my heartfelt respect and gratitude to my teacher, the Buddha, for teaching me the truth of my life. That is the truth of dukkha, the origin of dukkha, the cessations of dukkha, and the way leading to cessations of dukkha. Without his teaching, I will surely live in total ignorance and will wander in endless round of the samsara. And I truly hope that more and more people, especially the youngsters, actually can learn the Dhamma so that they can have a more meaningful life. Wishing all a happy Vesak to all in these challenging times. Stay safe and stay healthy. That's all for my message today.
All right, thank you so much, Sister Aimee. And I think one thing that she pointed out, Vesak is also a practice not just about cultivation, reflection, and also to actually know more about the Buddhist teachings, but rather we also should have gratitude to his teachings. So thank you so much, Sister Aimee. And finally, we have Brother Ng Kok Hiap, President from Persatuan Kebajikan Buddha Gautama Negeri Pahang Kuantan. So just to give a short introduction about his association. So Gautama Buddhist Society started in 2018, situated in Kuantan town on a piece of land with wooden structural buildings. So trees of various species are grown within the vicinity next to a steady small stream occasionally visited by otters. So the 1 acre land donated by the devotees provides a place for devotees to promote, practice, and organize Dhamma talks, meditation practice, retreats, and charitable events. So currently a kuti is in construction. Other projects such as Sala and others are being planned. So Brother Ng, so how do you cater to the spiritual and devotional needs of your devotees during the pandemic? You may answer us in Mandarin.
Namo Buddhaya. 各位尊重的长老们，大家为萨节快乐。在这里简单的跟各位修行的佛法的修行朋友们大家为萨节快乐。简单的介绍就是我们乔达摩就是完全就是全体理事的这个处理这个维萨我们乔达摩的这个运作，就是还没有这个 MCO 的这个情况的时候，我们的宣传佛法邀请长老的这个宣传也很好，就是每2个月我们都会有邀请长老在我们的这个佛学院有讲法，有进修，有修禅的一些活动。这个过后就是我们现在面对的这个 MCO 问题，所以各个人也是在担心每个人的健康，所以我认为我们能够来到这个世间，我们是一个人，我们也是有机会的去修行修法，也很感谢佛陀的法，所以我也不知道各位也有准备好了吗？你们每一个人包括我自己都会有面对死亡，是吧？就是我们即使死怎么样死在哪里都会逃不了，所以我们身为一个佛教徒还没有面对死亡的时候，尽我们的能力，尽我们的机会去做好自己的法。好，谢谢，萨嘟，萨嘟，萨嘟，萨嘟。
Thank you so much, Brother Ng. Key takeaways. Again, continue to do good, especially during these unprecedented times. Don't think too much, but just continue to do good. Again, the good will come back to us. All right, so thank you so much, fellow presidents. And again, we are truly grateful as we are blessed with a rare opportunity to have the voices, messages, and sharing of our member societies within and outside the Klang Valley be heard live. And once again, let us put our palms together as an appreciation to their dedication. So thank you so much, fellow presidents. All right. Okay, brothers and sisters, moving on, let us put our palms together as we now honorably invite Most Venerable Buddho Sri Saranankara Nayaka Maha Thera and the venerable members of the Maha Sangha to administer and lead us in the Vesak puja, conduct blessings and sharing of merits. We are so blessed as the ceremony will be streamed live from Sri Lanka Buddhist Temple, Sentul.
Let us be ready, reflect on great qualities of Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Being each and every one of you, maintain a strong mindfulness, concentration, develop Saddha towards the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Let us participate with the blessing service for a moment. Before blessing, try to be peaceful yourself, Relax yourself physically and mentally, reflecting all those wonderful virtues into your own mind. Let us have a blessing for well-being, for happiness, for every one of you, as well as for those who are people. So much sacrificing for our safety, frontliners, and other security forces, and each and every one of people, one way or another, they create contribution for our safety and our well-being and happiness. Remembering, showing gratitude, appreciation, keep in mind, let us have a blessing sutra with us together. Then sutra, if you want to follow, please join with us together. Sutra with the recitation, we are going to do it with salutation with Dhamma Sangha, and followed by the Metta Sutta and Maha Aggacitta as well. Let us be ready to participate, join with us together with Sutra recitation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava araham Samma sambuddho Vinja charana sampanno Sugito lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Satantadiva Sanam Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ipassiko Opanai Panchatam Viditam Vinnimoti Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjo Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Swami Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidam Chantari Purisa Yugani Ante Purisa Ungara Yesa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Pahuniyo Nakuniyo Anjali Karaniyo Antaram Punya Kintam Kasati Sanjivanyine Ututi Mangalam Idin Sanjivanyine Ututi Mangalam Idin Sanjivanyine Ututi Mangalam Niyamat Kusalene Yantam Santam Padam Abhisamit Sampujuca Sujuca Sujuca Semunduvaneti Mami Santus Koca Subaroca Hampakinjoca Salaukaunti Santindriyoca Nipakoca Hampagambo Pulisu Anenuhido Nace Kundang Samacari Kinci Nevinyo Pari Upavadiyum Sukhino Ahimino Hantu Sambi Santa Bhavantu Sukhitanta Yakaroparam Nikumbide Natimanite Kante Chinam Chimbiarosana Patiga Sanyanya Manyasidu Remintiya Matayatanyam Puntam Ayusaike Punte Manurangi Ivam Bisambha Bhuti Sumana Sambhavai Aparimanam Mintanca Sambhalokasmin Mane Sambhavai Aparimanam Undam Adoca Chiriyanca Asambhadam Naviram Asipantam Cintam Saram Nisinno Vasayamo Vayavetasya Vigatanindo Etam Satyam Aditteya Brahmamitam Vyaram Idamaho Nidintinca Anupagamma Silavadasya Sampanno Kami Suvinaya Gitam Nahi Jatu Gambasiyam Itena Sanjivanyine Suntite Hotu Samveda Itena Sanjivanyine Suntite Hotu Samveda Itena Sanjivanyine Suntite Hotu Samveda Yo vivajantu samberogo vinasetu mati pavatmanterayo susidikayo Bhavetu sambemangalam Nakantu sambedivata Sambevundanu bhavine Sadasunti bhavantu te Bhavetu sambemangalam Rakantu sambedivata Sambedhammanubhavine Sasunti bhavantu te Bhavetu sambemangalam Rakantu sambedivata Sambesanganubhavine Sadasunti bhavantu te Nakantayam kebhutanam Bhavanganivaranam Parintasanubhavine Antuti Upadevi Nakantayam kebhutanam Pavanganivaranam Parintasanubhavine Antuti Upadevi Nakantayam kebhutanam Pavanganivaranam Parintasanubhavine Antuti Upadevi. Let us chant Thrice Sacred. Sahasramabhinim Nidesayutam tam Girimi kenam utite gore Sasile manam Dhanadidam vijina Viteva Jaya Mangalani Maradiri Emapiyun Jita Samberantin Gorang Penat Laveke Magde Mata Jayakutang Nanti Sudham Devijina Jitewa Munindu Tanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Nada Giring Kajevaram Ati Mate Utam Dhavaggi Masenive Sudarunantam Mintam Kusik Vijina Jitewa Munindu Tanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Jinte Kakhe Mati Hante Sudarunantam Davantiyo Janepadam Limalevantam Iti Visang Katemanu Jitewa Munindo Tanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Kadvale Kante Muderam Ivekam Biniya Cintaye Gunte Vacenam Janekaye Manje Santi Deso Mevijina Jitewa Munindo Tanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Sajjang Vinaya Mati San Jayavadekitum Vadabiyo Vitamanam Ati Ante Bhutam Antapati Pajanito Jitawa Munindo Tanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Nando Ananda Pujagam Vibudham Mayitim Untena Tena Pujagina Samapayanto Indo Padesa Vijina Jitawa Munindo Nanti Jasa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Durga Adinti Pujagina Sudradhamtam Brahmam Visuddhi Yutimindi Mahavidhanam Vitina Jitawa Munindo Tanti Desa Bhavetuti Jaya Mangalani Mitra Pibunda Jaya Mangalani Yovadeko Chinajini Sareti Matanjini Indvani Pevita Subhadevani Moham Sukam Atigrami
Thank you, Venerable Sirs, brothers and sisters. And let us put our palms together in Anjali as the Venerable Sirs will be adjourning for their lunch dana very soon. And also a special thanks to Brother A.K. Nelson Sami, President of Sri Jayanti Association, and fellow committee members for making this happen. So thank you all. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, so thank you for staying with us. Before we actually end today's event, we would like to actually just make a few announcements. Brickfields Maha Vihara will be having their evening puja at 6 to 7:30 p.m. tonight. So don't miss it. It will be actually streamed live on Theravada Buddhist Council Malaysia Facebook page, as well as Brickfields Maha Vihara's Facebook page. And after that, there will be a guided meditation and Vesak Dhamma talk by Venerable Dr. Pemaratana Thera from Pittsburgh, United States of America, from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. So don't miss out, and I hope you guys actually can join them. Okay, so brothers and sisters, this morning's eVesak celebration has come to an end. Kudos to the organizing committee and the volunteers for making this happen. On behalf of our devotees, thank you so much for bringing the temple closer to the comfort of our homes. To all of you watching this live, we hope that you have an enjoyable eVesak celebration experience. On behalf of the Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia and the organizing committee, we thank you for your kind and esteemed presence virtually, as you bring us so much joy and happiness, and for making this event a success. Please forgive us for any shortfalls. Lastly, I would like to thank Theravada Buddhist Council of Malaysia committee members, organizing committee, and volunteers for giving me the honor to be your MC for the second time this year. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you, and may you be well, happy, and peaceful always. Remember, adhere to the SOPs. Stay safe, stay hygienic, stay healthy, and take care. Sukhi Hotu.
Dhamma